Alright, so what's up, you guys? Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be chatting with a buddy of mine. His name is Logan. We're just going to be going over just some mindset stuff, what's helped him become profitable, what's helped him throughout the years since he started. This video is going to be very raw. It is going to be unedited, and it is going to be a long format conversation. Like I said, it's just us going back and forth, just having a simple conversation, me asking him some questions. The reason why we're doing this video is because he likes the idea of documenting his process to becoming more of a profitable trader. So this video is just kind of his introduction to YouTube. So with that being said, hope you guys like the video. I got a question for you. What do you think about um going over going over three things? We go over your biggest win, we go over your biggest loss, and then we could go over what you've learned from both of them. And then the fourth thing is we could go over um, if you could remember when your turning point to profitability was. And then depending on how this conversation goes, that could just be the whole the whole video pretty much, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Okay. Is
I'm trying to think when I started becoming profitable.
okay.
Because do you even know the story? I'll tell it to you. I'll tell it to you when it comes up.
Okay. All right. So then, everybody, welcome back to another video of here documenting my trading journey. Here I have my buddy Logan. Um, as you guys just heard, we're gonna be going over those four or five different things. The whole reason for this is because my buddy likes the idea of documenting his process on YouTube as well. So we're gonna pop his YouTube cherry doing this. That's a good one. I got that from you, bro. Um, I think I'm gonna need a refill since we just did a whole 40-minute video. Um, but yeah, man, let's go ahead and jump into it. Your biggest loss, biggest profit, what you learned from both of them, when you started becoming profitable, and also the thing that's popping up in my head is when you had your biggest red month and then you ended up green during that month. If you could go through like your mindset during that too, because that's really huge. At least I think so.
Yeah, so we'll go over my biggest loss. It was two trades. It was that AABB and that GMZP that they were both the same day. I was trying to swing both of them, and I lost I think a total like $2,300 that day or something, which is far more than what I wanted to risk per trade. So actually, I mean, I really only want to risk like $200 per trade, so it's 10 times more than what I expected to lose on each trade.
Why?
Um,
Why did
why?
that happen?
Why?
Yeah. Why did that happen?
Too much size on a liquid setup, so
Okay.
both of them were a liquid still. I mean, the charts were nice, but just like I showed you on AABB, I was 10% of the volume.
Yeah.
So if you don't have any buyers and you get executed, and you try to sell and you get nobody to sell into, you're gonna take out all the bids.
Yeah.
So volume is very, very, very important. That's it's people think they need like indicators and stuff, but like volume and just price action. That's gonna be your whole. That's really all you need. You just gotta keep it simple. That's what Jack always preached. He actually just made a video about it. Or he was in like a press release on like a stock. They put out like a press release and mentioned him in it.
I think it was BBBYQ.
Yeah. Actually, I think he made like 10K off that too.
Yeah.
So he's like, I gotta buy it now. I just bought it and went up. It was disturbing, but yeah, like Tim Sykes always preaches it too. Like Kiss, like keep it simple, stupid, or keep it stupid, simple, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
People want to have like indicators. People want to know exactly when to buy. Like people follow Tim Sykes. Like they think like if you get his service, like
He's gonna
I need
feed
to do
you.
I need to do exactly what he does. But really, like you need to adopt his mindset, his students' mindset, and then
Yep.
kind of mold it into your own.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, it's just you. If you can't trade by yourself, you can't do anything. But I ignored the volume. I took way too much size, far too much size, and I was serious. I spiked the stock, and I sunk the stock myself. And I did it
BDE
again
baby, BDE.
I did it again on another ticker, just back-to-back trades, and Then I was like, okay, I'm sizing down. I took a lot of money on my account, and I was trading with like a 4K account. Then went from like a 20K account to a 4K account, and just started taking singles again. Just taking more predictable moves, more confirmation kind of style, less risk reward, like making 5 hour trade, being happy with making 5 hour trade instead of making trying to make 10 hour trade, a 20 hour trade. I think my biggest trade of all time, which isn't even my biggest profit, because size is a different kind of thing. I take
Yeah.
different size, different setups, but um, like I think my biggest risk to reward trade was like 27 hour, 26 hour. I don't know. It was crazy,
Bro,
but
I'm low key trying not to how you would put it, geek out. No, dead ass, because I could definitely see you have no business being on my fucking YouTube channel with my 12 subscribers, bro. You deserve to be on like Tim Sykes. You deserve to be on Be the Trades, or whatever his stuff is. So when you make it, I'm gonna have this documented on my YouTube and be like, he was here first. He was here first.
appreciate that. No, it's see me, like I feel like I probably always feel like this, but like I still have so much to learn. We
For
all
sure.
do,
For sure. 100%.
and it's just like I don't know. I can always do better.
Yeah.
Like my biggest one was December. I made over 10K that month. And I still was like, damn, I missed a lot of opportunity that month. Like I probably left even more. I don't know. It's hard to say, but like, that's when I just started short selling. I got real lucky. All these setups were working. They worked for like a week. But I was doing short selling, just shorting easy to borrow stocks, and I was working. But got a lot to learn.
So
But yeah,
the,
no, it's go ahead.
so let me ask you a question, because to the average person, or maybe to me, saying that you made 10K a month, um, that's for sure more than what the average person makes a month. So when well, first off, why did you get into trading? Because my thesis is that everyone gets into trading because they want to make money, and then somewhere along the way you just fall in love with the process. Why, how, I don't know. But I've noticed that the traders that make the most money, they don't do it because of the money. They do it because of the love of the game, pretty much, and they just fall in love with the execution and the exits, and it's pretty much like a game when you're executing a trade. Um, so when did that switch for you, if you did get into trading just to make money?
Yeah, so like the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, so right before like all the COVID, everything shutting down, all the stimulus money going in the market and stuff like that, everything running, thousands of a percent for no reason. Um, I got into it just kind of like I went golfing with some buddies, and they actually had me down on Robinhood. And like, yeah, just like you want to invest, just like kind of, here's buy some stocks, whatever. It's what we're supposed to do, right? Work all day and hopefully your money grows
For sure.
while your stocks are running. But that's it's such a false outlook on investing, because like the average person, I mean, if you invest into the S&P 500 or whatever, you're looking at 10%
A
return a
year.
year.
Yeah.
Where I'm making 30% in a day,
Yep.
60%. It's just crazy.
Yep.
But you can't do that without like discipline. You can't do that without failing first.
Yep.
Losing.
And learning a
We're kind of
bunch.
yeah, because like we're kind of jumping ahead, but I'll skip to like what the last question was from when we started. Like it took me 3 accounts to learn that I started with $500, $500, $500, blew up every single one of them. Just that was like 2020. That was just kind of on Robinhood still, just trading with just random things just moving.
Yep.
It's like, oh, this thing's spiking. I'm just gonna buy it. Hopefully, it goes higher.
Yep.
But what kind of switched for me mentally? Like I played baseball in high school, and I wasn't all that good. I started. I played third base. I was a pitcher. I was lead off, but I was good enough, to play, right?
Yep.
But I never actually like took it seriously. Like baseball workouts, never took it seriously at practice really. Just enough, to get to play and everything. But then I think Dom, he actually has like kind of like the same kind of story. He played baseball too, and he was good enough to start. So I can relate to that. But like once once you saw like once I started seeing the opportunity in trading, recognizing the pattern, seeing it over and over again, that's kind of like when I took a step back from these $500 accounts. I was like, there's actually there's something going on here because human psychology, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah.
took a break, just kind of sat back, started studying, reviewing charts, making watch lists every single night. And since that day, I've been making a watch list if I'm trading the next day, if I see a setup I like, I make a watch list. And regardless, even if I don't, I still type something up or do some kind of journaling, kind of staying on top of it. But it's you just fall in love with once you start winning, once you start recognizing, once you're able to explain something and make sense of it, and it works out to your exact plan. It's like, okay, I see what's going on here. I
Yeah.
recognize this, so you can make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's. I don't think there's one moment. I think it's a series of moments that kind of lead up, and then it's just like after so many lessons you learn.
Cliche motherfucker.
Huh?
Cliche motherfucker. but no,
Yeah.
but no, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
It is true. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of lessons. Like people can't tolerate failure. If you can't tolerate failure, you never trade.
Yeah.
Because that's where you learn. You got to review your trades. You got to go over where you messed up, why you messed up, what you should have done better. And then even pay even more attention to your winners. Why you won, why it worked, how it worked, how you sized in, where you sold, what was the level 2 like. Go back and rewatch the tape. Honestly, I used to do that all the time. I have screen recordings of panic dip buys that I haven't seen in 2 years since the market was hot. But I still have them. I still have them saved on all my flash drives.
Yeah.
I have charts I've printed out. You kind of it's like anything else. You just get involved in growing. And it's, everybody around you tells you it's a waste of time, but it's just like anything else.
So when you start your YouTube channel, see what I did
there? Yeah.
When you start your YouTube channel, what are some things you're going to be going over? Are you going to be doing it similar to me, just going over trades, or are you going to be doing like interviews or?
It's definitely going to start out as just like monthly recaps.
Yeah.
Because I know you do that. Alex does that. I think Alex actually has a YouTube that he does his monthly recaps on and goes into charts, where he bought, why he sold, level 2, that kind of stuff. I don't think I ever want to. Well, I don't know if I'll ever get into interviewing. More so like what we're doing, just kind of shooting the shit with each other.
Yeah.
But and definitely, I don't think I'll ever teach it. I'm not in a spot where I could teach it.
Yeah.
Or even be like accountable for teaching it. But yeah, I'll leave that up to Sykes and Jack and Kyle and all.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys are nuts with what they can accomplish. So.
What's?
But yeah, no. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead and finish your sentence.
But yeah, no. I mean, that's just it. Just kind of taking that step and going over monthly recaps. So that way, like looking back, like I wish I did it when I first started, because my first trade on one, I've had multiple E-Trade accounts, multiple Profitly accounts, because like Kyle Williams, he started over once he kind of like figured it out, once everything started clicking. So I started it over too. But my very first trade on Profitly, I think I profited like $15. I was like, holy shit, like that's crazy. Like what we were talking about earlier. I made $4,000 in 30 minutes of market time. So it's just, I wish I had that documented. I wish I had that kind of track record, but I don't. So I kind of just want to start now and see where it builds to.
Did you ever paper trade?
No, actually, I never did.
Trade?
Never did. I took my stimulus check from COVID. Took the stimulus check, funded some accounts, and started getting after it.
Nice, dude. Yeah, I started this during COVID as well. It's funny though, because COVID happened 2020. I started early November of 2019. I knew of Tim Sykes in 2016.
Damn,
dude,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I followed him on Twitter, and I just didn't get into it. And then 2019 came around. I was done with sales and marketing. I was like, man, I need to find another way to fucking get rich, just to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And so then I looked into Sykes again, and then everything he said, it's very simple stuff. The hard stuff is just the discipline, the patience, the putting in the screen time, finding the time to do the screen time, especially depending on your schedule. Um, this year is actually the year I've been the most consistent. Reason being is because I've always bounced around from job to job, so I never really had spare cash to throw into an account.
Yeah.
So this year's actually the first year I'm able to really be consistent month after month. And going back to the paper trading, during COVID I paper traded, and I'm gonna ask you this question. Um, I'm in no place to give advice or anything like that, but one thing that I would recommend to someone is not to paper trade and to start with a small little $500-700 account similar to how you did. Reason being is because, dude, the emotion it's different. It's different when you have real money on the line and you're live trading. Whether it's with $500 or $700, the emotions are there, and with paper trading, it's like, nah. I mean, I fucking killed it in paper trading. Don't get me wrong.
Everybody did.
Just like everybody else. But then once you start putting in that real money and you're actually trading,
Mhm.
oh man, the emotion is just totally different. So, would you recommend someone starting off with like a $500 account, $700 account? Would you recommend them to paper trade first?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I would never trade paper trading, honestly, because I think that's what kind of clicked for me was because like you started paper trading, so you didn't have that emotions of being okay with, all right, I'm gonna lose. If you have a $500 account, you should be looking to lose like no more than 5 to
$20.
$10. Yeah,
Oh
five, ten
shit.
dollars, $20 a trade. Hey, to each his own.
Yeah.
Because like if you can on a $500 account, if you are right, you could even say 50% of the times, 40% of the time, and you can keep your average loss less than $10, and you're making $40 on an average profit, you're going to be profitable.
Yeah.
So, and if you can't, you know, $10 might not seem like anything, but that's what 2% on a $500 account. So 2% on a $1,000 account is $20. 2% on a $10,000 account is $200.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't handle being down $10 on a five, I mean the size different, the mentality is kind of different. But once you start thinking percentage wise, like if you're taking a $15,000 percent or position size and you lose 10%, you're down $1,500 in minutes. If your sizing's not correct, if your entries aren't correct, uh, you're you're basically just setting yourself up for failure. Because paper trading, yeah, sure, you'll lose $1,500, but it's fake money. It
Yeah,
doesn't
you
even
don't feel
exist.
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then
but I
not
mean,
only
like,
that, the hard work. I mean, well, depending if you got money gifted to you or whatever, but the hard work that you got to take the money and put it into your account, and then having it lost, it's like fuck. Like that's a whole nother emotion to deal with.
yeah, I mean, like if I would have started with all the money I had at the time instead of just $500, I I probably never would have stuck with it. Because I mean, like I said, I blew up my first three accounts, just whatever.
Yeah.
And then when you sit down, get serious about something, put in time, look at stuff, look into stuff, journal. That's when you start, like I said, stuff just starts to click, and then
Yep.
it's like, oh, I need to start doing this more.
Yep.
Here's where I lose. Like track your trades.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where I lose. Here's where I win. Focus on where you win. Don't even keep studying where you lose, but just trade where you win. That's really what it comes down to.
Are you grateful that you started during the height of COVID?
Well, I started before COVID was even like,
Well, yeah, my fault. Yeah,
yeah,
like right before COVID.
yes and no, because I saw the whole bull run. I saw like, now I expect every breakout to run 300%, 500%, because we saw that every day.
Yes,
You
yes,
saw that
dude.
every single day. I mean, like, and people think GameStop is crazy. HKD, nobody even hears about it because day trading's not as, I guess, clicky as what it used to be. But HKD went from $7.40 to $2,500 in less than a month. It's far more than GameStop ever did.
Yeah,
Um, it's that madness that like NWBL back in the day. If this was 2020 or 2021 and I was prepared as I am now, like I would try and swing it for 50%, 100% profit if the market was as hot as it was back then. But you need I think that's where a lot of people fail in trading. They want it to be an exact science, and it's not. You need to adapt. You need to learn.
Yep.
Sometimes, like there for a while, breakouts were just dying right away.
Yep.
They have a if you have like really hard set rules and you can't adjust, you can't adapt after noticing a week or two of those rules failing on something that should be working, and you can't adjust, you're just gonna drain your account honestly and just bleed it out.
So now let me ask you a question. You hit two good points. You talked about how people want trading to be an exact science, and it's just not.
Mm.
Um, and then the other thing is, if something's not working, you need to adjust. Uh, Going back to that point, I think it was back in February or March. I had a drawdown of like negative $200, and breakouts for me just weren't working. And I asked you, um, like, dude, I think I'm just gonna, hold off on a while until the market picks back up again. And you told me, no, keep trading. Why did you tell me to keep trading?
Well, if you can't trade in the bad times, you can't trade in the good. I mean, like think about it. If you only trade when things are good, which typically like like I said, we were spoiled from COVID,
Yeah, man.
like runners and stuff. But like if you can't trade, if you can't make profits when the market slows down, if you only have one OTC play a month, which I primarily trade, and you give up, I mean, if that's why I think that's why we get so accustomed and so comfortable with working, 9 to 5s, because I'm guaranteed this check. I'm guaranteed, it's gonna be oh, I know what I'm doing Monday. I know what I'm doing Friday. Just,
Yeah,
just kicking shit around, just kind of getting your way through the day, honestly. But like,
yeah,
you have to be aware. You have to be aware of what's going on in market conditions. Who's pumping what stock? What's being pumped?
yep.
Chart history. Uh, the past few weeks of runners. What's been running? What hasn't been running? Have gappers been failing? Have they been running?
You're always on
You
your
just gotta
toes.
yeah. And if you
Yeah,
don't keep up with this stuff, you'll never be successful.
yep,
In any way. I mean, even if it's just being profitable for a side income, that's still being successful, honestly, in trading.
yep,
People think like, oh, you're in the stock market, you think you're gonna make millions of dollars. Like that's the goal, I think, for everybody,
for
which it
sure.
should be to be financially free. But um, which I mean, I think that's how it just happens. Like if you just think of it as a side hustle, if you're able to become profitable, yes, you're successful. But once it starts kind of teetering back and forth between that line of really getting exponential or kind of staying the same, you really just got to take that step and make it happen.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, I'm really grateful that you ended up telling me to keep trading that month. The next month I came out green, and then the month after that I had a small little green, red month. But I think you hit the nail on the head that if you're not able to trade during the bad months, then you're not going to be able to trade during the good months. And then not only that, always being on your toes for what's happening. That's great, man. Let's see, let's see. Is there anything else you want to go over, dude?
I mean, I don't really know. I'm up for whatever. It doesn't matter to me.
All right, yeah, and I know it's about 10:30 your time. I don't want to hold you up too much. Um,
Nah, yeah, I'm good. It's usually like 11:30. I gotta get up pretty early tomorrow. I'm not too worried about it.
okay. Let's just go over a little chart or two, just so I could put it in the caption that we went over charts.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I could pull up my stuff. What do you want to go over, dude? We could go over what you traded today. We could go over my trades. We could go over whatever. Even though we already went over it, so we could just do this really quick.
Yeah. I mean, there's really kind of touched on everything.
Okay.
I mean, there's really nothing on watch for me tomorrow.
Okay.
I think that's also another thing people need to take in consideration is having a plan for something, making your watch list, knowing what you're watching and why you're watching it and where you're watching it. Because if you're just buying whatever's gapping for no reason, you might as well just go to the casino at that point.
Yeah. Okay. How about this? Let's not go over charts. Let's end it with this. What type of advice would you give your younger self starting into the stock market?
Accept losses. Losses are they're gonna be your best friend, and I mean, just definitely network. Well, people take that the wrong way, I think, because like I said earlier, people. I watched a review on like Sykes class, not his class, I guess his program, but like, people want it to be so
Easy,
so easy. Like, yeah, everybody just wants to
predictable.
be able to trade during the day, go to work, and then come home and watch Netflix without having to do anything, or watch some guy make moonshine on YouTube, or who knows what the hell, whatever they want to watch. But um, you know, yes, you need to learn from somebody, you need to learn something, but you can also learn your own patterns. But like from you, like I don't even trade listed, so I'm still kind of learning stuff from you listed wise. But talk to people, understand what they do, understand why they do it, and then incorporate your own kind of mentality, because everybody trades differently, everybody trades different stocks, everybody has a different mentality, everybody can tolerate a different kind of risk. So really, I mean, that's just don't be so hard on yourself. Just experiment, learn. And I'm still learning. I'm learning every single day. Like, I'm far from where I want to be.
For sure. Yeah, both of us.
So
Yeah. I
just day by day.
um one thing that I've taken from the OTC market into listed, I'm definitely not even successful doing listed, um, is the OTC swizzle. Like the no spikes, comes down, consolidates, and then breaks out for the rest of the day. I've noticed at least recently that that's only happening with like heavily shorted stocks, and that's really like 50-50 with me right now, which isn't good. Like farm, it's a heavily shorted stock. Spike
Mm-hmm.
came back down, consolidation held, waiting for it to go. So that's like a bias that I'm trying to maneuver around. Um, and then, like I said, in the other session that we did, is when you tell me about certain stocks, like, hey, this one right here, and then this one right here, I look at it and it's nice, but I'm very hesitant because I second guess myself. And maybe you could give me some advice. Um, that when you tell me about it, I think to myself, okay, am I going in it because this is a nice chart, or am I going in it because Logan's going in it and he's been successful with it? And then mentally, right now, I'm tying it to Kyle's recap video of when he was in the car with Jack, and Jack told him about this stock, and he was like, "Oh, well, I want to get short too." So then he ended up getting short. I feel like there's a mental hurdle there that I'm trying to overcome, and hopefully I explained it good enough, uh, and you understood it well enough. Is there any 2 cents that you could give me for that?
I mean, well, first off, it's kind of funny that these two guys. Well, what's Jack's made, what, like 12 million, and Kyle's made, I think, four now. Like, they are literally dealing with the same kind of mental stuff. I mean, probably not nearly as much, because they have a foundation at least, and they've very well established, like, very good traders. But like, they deal with the same shit we do. Just it's
Yeah.
just I think we overthink it more, because we're not successful yet, or we're not where we want to be. We're not where we thought we'd be, or but no, I think what it comes down to is recognize, like, I trade like big daily picture kind of trades, mainly like
Yeah.
breakouts and OTCs.
Yeah.
So being familiar with like that supernova kind of pattern, and like understanding, like, if this breaks out, like, this, I've seen how, like, this chart pattern plays out, these breakout patterns, but I've seen how these play out. So I should be expecting this, to run, 1 or 2 days, 1 or 1.5 days, and just stick to your risk. Because, like, I mean, I could be, anybody could be wrong on any given trade, which also needs to be accepted before you take one. But I mean, no, that comes with time. I think that comes with, once you become more consistently profitable, once you kind of alter your kind of, I don't know, your own strategy as you go. Like, you're like, oh no, I've traded this before, I've won on this before, I'm going to take this because I know it's going to work. Well, you don't know, but you have a good feeling
Good
it's going to
feeling.
work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like an idea. But yeah, no, I struggle with that too. But I think what helped me the most was getting off social media for the longest time, like 6 months, 7 months, like,
Yeah.
not even, I didn't have anything, like, even Instagram, Twitter. I haven't had Snapchat in years. I still stay off everything a lot, because, like, I know, like if I see Jack's making 250K in a day, I'm like, shit, I lost, $100 today. I'm doing terrible. But even like if I made $1,000 a day, $2,000 a day, and I still see somebody making 50K a day, I'm like, this is awful. I'm nowhere where I want to be. But once you kind of isolate yourself, kind of find out who you are, what your emotions are, and stuff like that, that really changed me, honestly, for the best. So I still stay off social media as much as possible.
So, um, I guess going to like two different ways here. On the right side, at least for me personally, with social media, I don't find it affecting my trading as much. Sometimes I know with like BRSH and shit, but that's just like whatever. I'm gonna expect to lose money if it works, cool. If not,
Yeah.
then whatever. Um, but then on the other side for you, where does that mindset come from for you that like you're really hard on yourself?
I actually don't know. I
Like,
don't know what it is. Like, I think it's just me personally. I don't know. Because I don't know. I honestly don't have a good answer for that because it's just like, I feel like I used to worry about like how people thought I was like getting into day trading because most people view it as gambling.
yep.
And like I kind of live in like a small mindset kind of area where like settling for like a 9 to 5 is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of going about your business, getting a house, whatever. Um, so like you feel like you gotta have like that big dick swing where you make 50K on one random trade. Um, but honestly, I find it more impressive to now that I've taken time off, kind of separated myself and kind of uh, found like who I was as a trader as far as like developing myself. I'm more impressed with making 5K to 10K a month consistently than making 50K on one trade and getting lucky. Because actually, I was in a Tim Sykes and Jack Kellogg video recently. Most lotto people that win the lotto go broke because they're not educated to having that kind of money. They
Yeah.
they just they spend it all.
Yep.
So it's just being, I mean, still making $400 a day. That's far more than the average person's salary. So it's still,
Yep.
and I think that's where I kind of came back down to, kind of realizing, the kind of money you start making once you put in the time. It's like aim to make, like now I just aim to make, $300 to $500 a day, which is still,
Very good.
what's that like? Yeah, it's still very good.
Mm-hmm.
And you might not even make a trade every single day. So even if it's just once a week, it's still good.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I honestly, I really don't know where I started getting so hard on myself. I think it's just how I am, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think it's unfortunate. I think that's a good thing. Um,
To an extent,
to
because
an
it's
extent,
actually
for sure.
it's mentally abusing, yeah. Because like I pin myself to this way more than I should. Um, I definitely like even after I made that 4K in one day, that night I was still like back. Just I didn't even like celebrate. I didn't even tell anybody really. I told my brother. I think I sent my brother a screenshot of my P&L, and that was it. And my girlfriend, of course, I tell her everything. She's my biggest fan. Um, but yeah, I think I didn't even, well, I wasn't even on social media. I didn't even like celebrate it at all.
Yeah.
Just I was like, all right, shit, I need to make more money. I need to figure this thing out quick.
Yeah, I think I was telling you yesterday or earlier today on the other recording session that we did is that a quote that I've been trying to live by is don't get too high and don't get too low. But on the other side of things is if you made 2 grand, $1,000, $500, the way I would see it is like, okay, I made $500, but then the other person made 50 grand. Was like, okay, well they made fucking $500 one time. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? So then there's
But
there's
yeah,
there's
yeah, exactly,
there's
exactly.
absolutely no reason as to why you're not gonna end up getting there if you keep on doing the right things. I hate it when you're fucking hard on yourself, bro. But I can't tell you not to be hard on yourself because I know that's the reason why you're successful and why you're gonna be much more successful than you are now.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just a journey, all in all.
It's all about the journey, baby. It's all about the journey. Shameless plug, shameless plug. But alright, bro. I think that's about it. We got 5 minutes left.
My dad's button in here. He's gotta
Oh,
get his head in here.
let's say what's up to your dad. Do you support your son's trading journey? He's gonna.
He doesn't even really know how much I've made or anything like that, so it's kind of crazy.
He doesn't know you're rich yet, bro. You're holding back on your
Nah,
parents.
nah, he doesn't know that yet. Still living at home.
But all right, man. I think that's it. I'll go ahead and cut it here unless you got anything else to say.
Nah, I mean that's really it. I don't really have too much else to go over.
Cool, man. This was a good one. Thank you for your time, bro.
Yeah, you too, man. I'll
Does
talk to you later.
All right? Does your dad wanna pop in and say what's up to my
I
hundred
mean,
thousand subscribers?
he can. He's leaving the room. Got a little camera shy.
All right, brother. You have a good night.
All right, man. You too.
All right, late.
See ya.